Every other day, technology be hating on me and trying to keep me from talking to you, but I'm here. Okay, my Zoom literally, I turned on the camera and I wasn't showing up at all. And then my microphone wasn't working at all. I had to restart the whole thing. I'm like, not today, Satan, not today. I'm gonna I'm gonna make this whether I will like it or not. So let me tell you about a combo I just had on the elevator. It was brief, but it made me think. So this guy stepped into the elevator one floor down from me, and I was like, where are you from? Now I like to, before I ask people this, I like to think in my head where I think they're from. And I'm wrong most of the time. Now, ages, I'm usually spot on. At like 23, 27, I be guessing people's ages like that. Like I'm really good at that. But guessing where people are from, I be having no clue. So this guy asked him where he's from. And he's a young guy. And he said the UK. And I said, oh, where about? Right outside of London. Cool. And then he was like, where are you from? And then I just looked at him like, you know where I'm from. Everybody who asks me where I'm from, like they already know I'm from America as soon as I start speaking. And it's so funny to me because I'm like, also they'll ask me and I'll tell them, and then they'll be like, yeah, I already knew because the way you talk. Then why you asking me? You already know. But I can't help it. I just sound American. Um, and so he's like, yeah, I know America, but what part? And I was like, okay, Chicago. And he's never been. So we chit chat a little bit about Chicago. And I'm like, it's just great in the summertime, not so much in the winter. Just stay away from the winter. And so we both got off the elevator, went to the lobby, grabbed our food deliveries, and then went back up the elevator. And I was like, yeah, 18. He's 18 years old in Malaysia with his friends. And I'm like, that's so awesome to be so young and to already be out exploring the world. For those of us who love travel like I do, I think that's amazing. I wish I had started. Like, what was I doing at 18? Nothing in Chicago, chilling. I think I had graduated. Yeah, I had graduated 1998. I think our graduation was in June. I had graduated high school a semester early, so I was done in January 1998. And then I was just trying to figure out what I want to do. Like, did I want to go to college? Where was I gonna go for college? I think I actually ended up going to this trade school. That's where I ended up going to learn about computer networking, and that was a whole bunch of mess. That school actually ended up getting closed later on for fraud and all type of stuff they were doing. But anyway, I bring it back, Raven. So I told him, I was like, man, 18, that's so awesome. I'm like, I didn't even have a passport until I was 27, right? And that's the first time I went out of the country. And he was like, well, how did that happen? And I was like, well, the US is so big. You can spend your whole life just visiting around the US and not see everything, right? And then also, as employees, we don't get a lot of time off. And so to take the time to fly over across the ocean somewhere, it eats up a lot of your time. And so he's like, oh, okay, I understand that. Um, but yeah, I just thought it was so interesting. And like I said, I wish I had started earlier with the travels. Shout out to all my friends who like travel with their kids internationally, who have moved and taken their kids with them internationally. That's so awesome. I think if you like travel or if you're even slightly interested in travel, I think it's a good experience, whether you have a good experience or bad experience while you're traveling. I think it's a I think it's a powerful experience, right? Because it makes you think, it makes you see how other people live. It helps you have memories you can always refer back to, again, good or bad, because I have some good ones and I have some bad ones for sure. But I appreciate them all and they make me who I am. They're part of the fabric of who I am today. So love, love, love travel. And then, oh, another thing I want to tell you, girl, listen to here. So I went into the gym today. 4 times I trained this week with a personal trainer. That's the first time I've ever done that. It was always 3 times with our mom, but Adele was like, yeah, we can train again tomorrow. So 4 times this week. I'm like, this is a lot. A deal is like constantly pushing me out. And like, I'm like, what is his deal? But he's 27 and our mom was 33. And I feel like, younger, maybe I'm stereotyping, but younger, more energetic, more like, let's get it, let's gung ho, optimistic. And then I think our mom was he's older, he's wiser, he's also more laid back. And so anyway, just a different personality. So I get there, we're doing our stuff. And then we get to the leg press, and he's like, how much have you done on leg press? And I'm like, 60 kg. And so he puts two 20 kg plates on there, right? So one on each side of the leg press, and I do my leg presses. Then he loads it up with another 20 kg plate on each side. And so that's 40 kg each side, 80 kg total. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, this is a lot. And he's like, you can do it. Come on. And so I pushed through and he's like helping me. And I'm like, this is too much. And he was like, no, you can do it. And I finished the reps. And then he loaded up another plate. So there's 60 kg on each side, 120 kg total. And I said, Adele, what's happening? What are we doing? Oh, this is your personal best, right? You said 60 kg. I said, no, I meant 60 kg total. So 30 kg on this side and 30 kg on this side. You have double that. This is 60 kg, 60 kg, 120 total. What are we doing? This is the most ever. He's like, well, no, I believe you can do it. I was like, what makes you think I can do it, Adele? You just met me. You don't know anything about me. He said, well, you did that last one and you did it easily. Like if you were not able to do it, your legs would have been shaking really bad when you're pushing up. And he's like, even though it looked like I was pushing it, I was barely touching it. I wasn't really touching it. I just made you think. I said, so more lies, more lies. Listen, these trainers be lying. They're like two more. And then they were like, after you do the two more, they were like, okay, two more. I'm like, what are we doing? So he cut down my reps like in half. So I did 10 reps at 120 kg total. And I'm like, this is crazy. And he's like, see, I knew you could do it. I'm like, whatever, boy. He more reliant than Armand. I'm just like, what is happening? But I kind of guess I feel kind of accomplished, right? Because that's double. That miscommunication led me to leg pressing double the max that I pressed before, which is crazy. And so, yeah, that was today. A very interesting day. Oh, the other thing I noticed, taking it back to the first story I just told you with the UK guy, um, when we were going back up the escalator to our respective floors, family got on, they had luggage with them. And so when the UK guy got off, I asked them where they were from. Again, thinking in my head, I thought Thailand. They were from Indonesia. And I told him, welcome to Malaysia. And I got off the elevator thinking, I know people are like, this girl here, she talks to, like, I know it's weird. I've been told before it's weird that I talk to people, people I don't know, and I say hi to people and I'll ask them questions. And I'm like, okay, it's just how I am. It's like the US, parts of the US, I'll even say that. I think it's a Midwest thing. And maybe some other parts of the US, of course. But I remember dating this guy a long time ago in my 20s. I was dating this guy in New York. And when I went out there to visit him for the first time, he told me we were at like a CVS. They call it Rite Aid though. And I was checking out, and the woman who was checking me out, I was like, "Hi, how are you doing? How's your day going?" And she looked at me weird, and she was like, "It's okay." And so she rung me up and checked out. We left. And he was like, "Why are you talking to people?" I was like, "Because that's what you do. You say hello and you ask people how they're doing and how's their day going." He said, "We don't do that here." I must have died. I must have died. I was like, "What?" Maybe that's why New Yorkers have such a reputation of being mean, because y'all just be like, now look, I don't want people to be fake, of course. I'm not asking people to be fake. I have quite a few friends who are from New York and they're really cool people. But when I ask people how they're doing, I genuinely want to know. That's just maybe, I don't know if that's a defect or what, but so it's funny when I'm in other places where people don't generally interact with each other in this way. They don't do the small talk as it's called, but I do, and people respond. So, until somebody tells me to stop doing it, I'm just gonna keep being me. So, yeah. Anyway, randomness. How was your day? What happened to you today? Let me know. Tell me something good or tell me something bad. I'm here for it all. Okay, boo. I'll talk to you later. Ciao.